pop up.
Okay, now the red frame's on. You just want me to go out the window?
Yeah, get some stuff out the window. Get the, Ohio wildflowers and stuff.
Beauty of the state of Ohio.
The cone.
Hello and welcome to the Apex Gaming Magic Weekend, brought to you by Apex Gaming. I'm Tandy, joined by Bomat. Say hi, Bomat.
Hi, Bomat.
I'm abominable, I'm a rhymer that's totally all about vocally dominant flows. Abolishing foes will be hollering, going at all of them. Yo, they are honestly so horrible, obviously the intolerance in me is knowing to freely expressing. Just give you my honest opinion, but now I'm just listening, smiling and cheesing. Knowing my rhymes will blow all these MCs into thousands of pieces and pounding with ease and astounding arousal of thousands of stars that are out and see cowards scrambling like house till they out in the galaxy, out in the clouds, cause I honor a rock and these marvelous bars. It's thumb down for God and you talk to them about it, they answer. I just wanna party and bounce and sing along. Don't make me think too hard, I just came here to relax in my drinking fork. Don't make my brain work too hard, I need CPR. Keep it on right, please don't rhyme about me to yours. I'm just an earthling, a man, I'm not ETR. My favorite Martian, I feel like I'm speaking for all of my peeps. If you do not mind keeping your life to yourself, because we out here seeking darkness. I'm like, okay, just keep me bored. You don't want spirit, you might just want Ouija boards. You're the reason hip-hop's making me sleepy more. Until you try to battle, then you creep in your pants and you fret cause you're keeping your stance. You standing just leaking from glances. I'm speaking in advance. From speaking your plan for an album is out about what style of done I should keep your advance.
Round one, fight.
The smaller Murktide, it's entirely possible that nothing off the ring.
Nice. Packs it
And
in.
Robert takes it down.
Your boy went 2-1 round one, so round one's doing good. So the rack, blue-black Murktide, the rack got there. We strapped him to the rack, and we only got like 3 points of actual rack damage. We won off of Bowmaster and Construct Token. That's pretty much how we won.
All right, so you copied the One Ring with Phyrexian Metamorph.
Yes.
How'd that feel?
It's good. They exiled it after I used it twice, but...
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it got me some draws.
Oh, good.
So I say, what is it impressive as you think it is?
Yeah.
It was nice, though. I saw my...
It's cool,
It's a
man.
big brain move. All right, we good?
Yeah, let me step back so I get your hands in the
Don't
shot.
step too far back. I want to get the audio.
What? I thought you had a mic.
Oh, I didn't pull it out.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't feel like pulling it out.
All right, it's
We're not
recording.
professional. We out-scammed the scam last round, so the rack out-scammed the scam. So 2-0 currently, so feeling good.
All right, wow, the run is over. It's 2-1, lost against Hammer Time. Brutal 2 games. Got turn 3 both games pretty much from double Colossus Hammer. So rough, crazy, wish him the best. You're probably gonna maybe see him on camera, I don't know. But yeah, we're down a game. Oh.
On your right, closer to the screen, you'll see Popper shirt. That's LR Smith, Popper aficionado.
We are definitely hoping to have him on a feature, if not this round, then a later round. He's got a spicy one that we're going to tell you about a little bit later.
All right, we're 2-2 with the rack. Still no turn 1 grief. I cannot get a turn 1 grief to save my life. We lost to Burn both games. I think he had a good time playing solitaire. I was up in the feature area, and those games were rough. But we were 2-2. Gonna see if we can't pull a 4-4. That's what I'm aiming for. First time playing Magic a long time. There is an 8-rack player here though that is currently 4-0. So pretty excited about that. I'm rooting for him. Hopefully he can pull through. Maybe I can talk to him later, but he's playing very old school rack. And I'm playing scammy rack because I'm a scammy boy. So 2-2, we'll see how it goes.
We're going to be watching Core B on your right with that Just Guy Breach deck we saw earlier, as well as Josh Bartlett on your left with Burn.
I don't think Josh is gonna win. The other dude's at 20.
Oh,
Smash
no.
Smithereens, but Spell Pierce is going to knock it off, and I bet Josh Bartlett is dead. That's my guess. Attack you with this minis.
Attack
Dead.
you.
All right.
All right, so 2-3 now. Blue-red Blitz is what I just played and got demolished. This deck is running like hot garbage. It ran off, like first 2 games ran pretty good. The last 3 rounds, it's been kind of rough. Still no turn 1 grief. That's been elusive. I'm not allowed to scam very much today. But yeah, it went down 0-2 against them. Didn't feel the best, but we're on that 4-4 dream. And one of us got to be featured on camera against Corey. And yeah, so. All right, we're gonna keep moving on. I'm tired though. I was spacing out a lot that last match.
I'm having a wonderful time.
Could you say that with any more conviction?
Huh?
Could you say that with any more conviction?
Adam, are you having a good time?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay, so we're good. We're good. We're good. We're live. No, we're not. This is SD card. It's not live. Okay. So we went. We finished a round, and then the next round started like immediately. I thought we had downtime, but I guess not. So round 5, I won. I played against another Death Shadow Murktide deck. Seems to be prevalent. Went 2-1 against them, and then the last round I lost. We were scammed by the scammers. Game 1, I kept a 2-land hand, one of them being Saga. I never drew another land. And then game 2, I was stuck on a Urborg only land, and then top deck another Urborg, and that was pretty much it. Game 2 was a lot closer though, because I did able to finally scam in a Grief. Not turn 1, but I did do it turn 2. So it is here. It's just not wanting to be shown. It's shy. It's a little shy. We're heading in the last round, and I just got to say, I'm going to jinx it, but so far everybody's been really cool. This is a cool place, but I am starving, and I hope my other friend or cousin finishes up quick so we can go get food while there's still time on the clock. So yeah, see you after the last round. 4-4 is the dream. We're good. I'm sitting here with an 8-rack player who's like just crushing this tournament. What was your name?
Yeah, my name's Trey Natili, and I play 8-rack.
So I'm playing the scam rack. I ended 4-4. What was your ended up? Your 8.
I was 6-0 and drew into top 8. So
you're going to the top 8.
2 draws. Yeah.
Sick. You're playing more of the traditional rack. Like obviously it's been running great.
Yeah.
But like, how do you feel like with the deck like in the meta? Like.
So I feel like right now the unfortunate thing about playing 8-rack is it is kind of like a rock paper scissors type deal, because I think whenever you run into something like Amulet, that's going to be a really really tough matchup that you're just going to need to luck through. Then you got certain matches like Tron that are sort of your bad matchups, but I feel like the thing I like about 8-rack personally is you can kind of just beat any deck if you get lucky enough, and if you play well enough with stuff like Pithing Needles and whatnot. So I don't think it's great in the meta, and I think you're probably not favored in most matchups, but if you know what you're doing, you can definitely edge them out.
So with the original, a lot of people, like Facebook stuff's kind of trimming out on Smallpox, and I talked to you a little bit earlier. You said Smallpox is still the way to go. And it had been rocking and rolling for you.
Smallpox has been the best card today. So round 6, which was my round 6, game 2, I was up 1 going into the top 8. This was the most important match. I kept a hand that was 5 lands, notably an Urza's Saga, 2 Smallpox. My whole hand. I was into Hammer. Smallpox is the most important card that I'm running in my opinion, because it turns the opponent off lands. You can really mess up with like a Rhino's Living End Cascade type deck. You can take out decks like Hammer. It's really great into Grease or into Scam if they don't really know what they're doing, or if they're not expecting the Smallpox. You take them off their one land, they're not going to draw into another. What Smallpox does is it gets you a creature and it gets you time at the exact same time, and for me, like, I can't cut that card. Like, probably the most important card in the deck, even if there's a lot of situations where it feels awkward. When you're running stuff like Liliana, you can discard it if it's not good. So I've had a lot of success with it.
What do you think, like right now, out of all the matches you've had, has been like the hardest matchup?
Today or just in general? Probably Scam. That was probably the hardest one I played today, and I will say I think I got lucky with my pairings. I didn't have to play any like the big mana decks, which are the ones I'm really scared of. But Scam is one of those matchups that for me always feels very luck-based. I feel like there's not as much outplay potential against Scam. I need to draw the cards I need off the top. Like, I got Grief Scammed on turn 1, which is like, you're playing 8-rack, you're like, okay, they're down to 3 cards in hand, but also you're down to nothing, and you're not going to get those 3 cards unless you get the lucky draws. So I think Scam was a very 50-50 matchup, and I got there with a Liliana for sure, and both of the games I won, it was the most important card.
So like with the Scam version that I'm running, I feel like the Scam matchup's a little bit better if you're on the play.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of scam them, you know?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Exactly.
But so are you taking with more traditional, I feel like with the Scam rack, you kind of maybe want to be on the play more than you do on the draw. But with the traditional, are we still rocking the draw most of the time?
So it is match dependent. I was on the draw every single game of my games today. So 6-0 without taking the play once. So it's definitely possible. I think all of my matchups were either 50-50 or favored on the draw, and I personally feel more comfortable on the draw because I've got more experience with it. you can't take the draw into certain decks. Like I always say Amulet. I'm terrified of that deck, but you can't take the draw into Amulet even if you're playing Classic. But I do think making sure you know how to take a draw and play it correctly is important to doing well with the deck.
What's some advice then on when you're taking the draw with 8-rack?
So you can't chicken out of taking the draw against a deck like Hammer. Like, it gets really scary when a Hammer deck, but you gotta realize that if you're playing Smallpox, you can fight Hammer back and get them down to like 0 lands very effectively, or you can deal with their threats and they're gonna have less draws than their threats. Decks like Hammer, or a lot of like the aggro decks that I see, they're based around like a key creature like a Ragavan or like an Esper Sentinel, and if they have less cards, they're gonna draw into less of those cards. You're gonna be able to turn them off quicker even though you're on the draw, and then you're gonna get that more time and it's gonna start to snowball, and you're gonna get enough time to establish such a long base win condition.
So is 8-rack your like primary deck then for Modern?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you play any other decks, or are you mainly just into 8-rack?
I play Prison-Tron a little bit, and I'm working on getting together Yawgmoth right now.
Right on. How long you been playing 8-rack then?
5 years.
5 years?
I bought
What
it.
drew you to it?
The cost. Everyone at my local game store was like, yeah, you got to play Modern, and I was like, Modern deck. And I found like Modern starting decks on eBay. The cheapest one was 8-rack. It was $40. I bought the list off eBay. I still run some of the cards in this deck today, so that was the main draw, and I just really ended up liking it.
It's really kind of changed now, hasn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. But I've got like all these fancy Smallpox. I got like my artist proofs, my signed ones. I run the 4 from that original deck because that card's like super important to me. So I keep
That's
them
awesome.
the same.
Say, I looked through it. You definitely got a lot of bling in there. It's really
Yeah.
sweet. What all matches have you had? Like, what are your matchups?
This is gonna sound stupid. I played Hammer 4 times.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So I used to think that matchup was worse, but after today, I think it might be better. I'm not sure how the Hammer deck has sort of changed post Lord of the Rings, because at least in my local meta, no one plays Hammer, so I actually didn't come prepared for the matchup, but I think I'm doing really well into it. And I played Rhinos, which felt really good, and then Scam, which, as I said, was the hardest one for sure. It was very point flip.
Right on. So I've had like a pretty wide variety. I did Murktide, Death Shadow twice, Scam once.
Yeah.
No, Scam twice. I forgot the round 7 was Scam again. Then I've had Tron, Burn, and then like an Is It Blitz deck.
Okay, like Prowess type.
Yeah. So I've had a little bit of a variety, and I feel like the Hammer Time matchup on the Scam version of 8-rack is way worse than the original.
You're not running Smallpox.
And we're not running Inquisition.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit. Are you running Wrench Mine in yours?
2 Wrench Mine.
2? That's what I'm at too. I think Wrench Mine's still like awesome.
It's still necessary. It's my least favorite card in the deck just because it bothers me that after all these years they haven't printed it 2 mana target player discards 2. It's crazy to me, but it's still necessary to be able to 2-for-1 against like a more top end heavy deck like that. So I keep it in.
So have you, with a lot of Hammer Time, have you got like to really sit across from the One Ring yet?
No. I did last night, and I can beat the One Ring. Like I run 3 Pivot, so I am teched pretty hard into the One Ring. For like the 4-color control matchup, I haven't got to play it yet, but I brought in 2 rocks into the sideboard. I'm looking for ways to sort of edge out against those One Ring builds. So I haven't played it yet. I'm expecting to play it in the top 8. We'll see how that goes.
Well, I'm rooting for you. Thanks for talking about me.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see you excel, especially with like an old school rack, because I've seen so many different variations of rack kind of come and go. So to see like the old school just kind of really rein it in, it's awesome. So I'm rooting for you. I really am. So nice meeting you too.
Nice meeting you.
Good luck.
So let's go and head on down and watch our top 8 unfold and see if this 8-rack deck can take it down, see if it's the real deal.
Trey has just seemed on top of it every single round. I think he definitely has what it takes here. He's just going to completely shut down the Rhinos.
We're good? We're good? Okay. Blacks. The last round. Yeah. Last round ended up 4-4, beat Tron. It broke the ice on them. It finally happened. Turn 1 Grief. I finally got a turn 1 Grief. 47,000 games, 65 million hands, and finally a turn 1 Grief. So that felt pretty good. We're heading home. Didn't stick around for the top 8 and see how it ended because we were starving, so we left to go get food. And now there's crazy storms everywhere. So we're gonna head home to basically, well, I mean, look, that cow just flew right. But heading home, it was fun. Thanks for having me out, Apex Gaming, and tomorrow's Pioneer. So don't know if I got another 8 rounds of Magic in me, but we'll see. So, all right.
Nada.
That's the game in the match. Amina Body is your champion. Winner of the $5,000 Apex Gaming Open.
Wow.
$1,500 richer with Azorius Ham.